So moving on, there's some good detail here too. These were interesting. I mean, this is really kind of cool. That I liked this. I guess what I'm trying to say. Learned a lot about. I'm not saying I know it all. It's going to be a learning for the rest of my life, but kind of cool. So enjoyed it. That's the hull where it is now. There's not much left, if any, to do on this, to be honest, other than possibly dealing with this again. I'm not sure why these keep ending up straight up, but anyway, so there's the hull. And now we'll move on to the turret. The turret was pretty good too. There's some areas where actually this whole thing was warped, to be honest. Especially this hull, which, thank you very much. Not only do you give me holes, but you give me warpage. So this has been and will continue to be a problem until I get the whole thing put together, because I've dry fitted this obviously to test it, and there's some definite warpage problems with this thing, and I'm really I expected more. I realize it's only $20, but it's only plastic, and it's pretty old, so I would think the return on investment's been there. So there's the grab iron, another grab iron. Some of these I had to modify because I lost them. That's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. But it's kind of cool. Upside down, it looks bad, but you're not gonna see it upside down. I've done some sanding because there's some raised. No, I'll probably do some more. Excuse me. There's some raised areas. You have to make your own antenna with the melting of the sprue, and that's a lot harder than you guys make it look, or I think Tamiya shows you how to do it. Somebody shows you, other than YouTube, nice people, whatever you want to say, show you how to do this, and it's tricky. But I did manage to make one. And I haven't mounted it yet. That's really delicate. That's going to be one of the last things to happen. And so there's your 50 cal, and I believe it's 50 cal. Looks like a 50 cal. I think these are 30s. Maybe that's a 30, or maybe they're all 30s. That's kind of looking up. I'm not going to mess with that. So there's your machine gun. There's the light that I'm going to work on. And it's got some cool detail. There's something goes on here. Oh, tracks. That's right. So a spare track comes along the side here. And this is kind of tricky. The machine gun is supposed to move, and it does. I'm probably going to... I may end up fixing it, just so that it's not flopping around. It just seems like a great way to break it. So the driver's hatch, not commander's hatch, sorry, commander's hatch, I'm probably gonna leave it open. That's why it's not on here. So it's probably gonna be left open, and I'll have to be careful because there's ejector pin marks there. But the main thing is, the reason why it's going to be open is I'm going to put the driver, or the commander, guys, I keep calling her driver. I'm going to put the commander in here, and he should block a lot of, you from seeing much in there, but those ejector pin marks on the side, I may not be able to deal with. So he's probably going to be sticking up and out, and I'm going to situate his arms differently than what they recommend. So he's going to be up and out. I don't think he's going to be manning the machine gun. I think he's going to be looking off into spotting more than manning something. So those are his arms, and there's the hatch, and it all goes back in. So where are we? Let me show you. No, it's another. Yeah. doing some darn thing. Should have this set up. Here it is. So, the first thing I worked on was the separate pieces for the figure set. That's these guys here. These guys here. And this is a better shot of them actually. If you see this right here. Those guys. And then this guy is the one he's not going to be doing this. I think this is dumb. Well, that's kind of harsh. I don't like this. I want him in the tank, peeking out. So he's going to be in a position similar to this, looking out. Like I said, he's not going to be manning the machine gun. It's not going to work. So he's just going to be looking out, scouting. And these guys, I don't know if I'm ever going to finish them. I probably will if I ever get into dioramas. I don't really feel the need to have these guys finished, but I did feel like that would be a good place for me to start on these kits. So I did some of the work. I made the bazooka, which it's not cleaned up or painted or anything, and there's not a whole lot to it. You just glue these ends on, 2 ends onto it. I made the radio. I think I messed something up on it actually, but whatever. It's a radio. It's okay. I don't know if I'm going to mount that on the tank or incorporate it in any way. It may just be what it is. And then the trick. This was actually a little tricky. The mortar. It was fun. So it was a good way to start into my styrene wars. So there are some spare parts. I think this is probably because this sprue uses probably the M3, yeah, the M3 Stewart. I'm guessing. I don't know, but there's some unused parts in here that obviously they're nice parts, and I'm gonna keep them. But they're not used in this kit, is what I'm trying to tell you. In a stupid way. So obviously keep those for future reference. Here's your track bits. They're going to get mounted. These sandbags, I may put those on the tank somewhere. And then here's your tools. Obviously I have some cleanup to do with them and a lot of painting. So here's where I'm saying obviously I'm going to be using probably a metal. So I'll need silver, some paint to simulate wood. You know, there's several paints that I'm going to need. In addition to this is, by the way, my antenna. And I don't care. That's just as long as it's getting on this model. In the future, I may work harder in these things, but for now, that's it. That's your antenna bud. Maybe it got blown off, shot off. Maybe the guy cut it off because he was afraid to get seen over the hill. I don't really care. And then the decals, I suppose. Everybody talks about these all the time. I mean, you can see them. They're not much, and I don't expect them to be. This is, you know, it's not a parade. Everybody talks about these, so will I. The treads, tank treads. Don't like those. You know, I don't know why that's that way, but I may try to rough these up and get them down a little bit, and then take care of the rest with weathering. So that is what it is. Alright, so I think that's probably all I really wanted to talk about. My next project obviously I have a lot left to do on this one, but I definitely have my next project, and I'm really excited about it. It is going to be the Hasegawa P40E Warhawk in 148. This is going to be fun. So basically it's a flying tiger. If you don't know the story of the flying tigers, you really should Google it or something. It's pretty fascinating how we fought a proxy war for a while with Japan on behalf of China. But this looks like a great kit, and I will get more into that, the build. I'll show you more of it as I go along. I'll do a pre-build box sort of a review. I'm not going to get as thorough as many of you do. But I haven't found much on that kit on YouTube's where I look. So, so I haven't found a whole lot. So I think it's time that one get out. And actually that goes with this one too. I couldn't find this build. I think I found some M3s. But this one's different enough that, yeah, it probably should have its own video. Whether or not I'll buy somebody else's version of this and show you that build, I don't know. Obviously, I'm pretty deep in this now, so it's kind of late to bring you on board and show you step by steps, but yeah, we all do what we can, and I'm doing my part. So if you got anything to say, say it. If it's mean, I'm going to ignore it. If it's a question, I'll answer it. If it's a compliment, I may or may not. I doubt I'll get many of those anyway. Happy modeling. Thanks. Bye.